Good evening, I'm Nathan O'Leary, and thank you for joining us tonight. Major flooding around our area. First on Fox, we have all of the angles. The rising river levels, a dam break and fallout, drowned farmland, growing piles of sandbags, and how longtime residents say this flood is stacking up to those in the past. We have team coverage beginning in Maquoketa. The Maquoketa River is falling tonight after setting a record yesterday, 35.2 feet. The record before, 34.1. Acres of corn are barely peeking out from the top of the floodwaters, and a lot of rain is to blame. But that is only one of the causes. Upriver in Delaware County, the Lake Delhi Dam failed over the weekend. For decades, it held back the Maquoketa River. Massive amounts of water now flooding downstream. Today, people who evacuated are sifting through the damage there. Dozens of homes are muddy, wet, even ruined. Some people say they have lost everything. That wall of water ended up in Maquoketa. Fox 18's Kurt Liskey begins our coverage with the latest on how people in Maquoketa are coping.
Floodwaters in Maquoketa, Iowa, the highest in recorded history.
Pretty much in awe. You know, it's a small river, but once it does flood, you know, Mother Nature takes over, and there's not really a whole lot you can do about it.
An earthen levee that runs the length of the city, keeping most of the water out. Flooding is still expected to cause millions of dollars in damages. Residents of Maquoketa, Iowa, dodging much of this weekend's floodwaters. However, farmers living along the Maquoketa River are finding tens of thousands of acres of cropland underwater.
From Delhi to the Mississippi River, there are many, many acres that have been taken.
Congressman Bruce Braley touring the flood-damaged portions of his district. He's found mile after mile of flooded fields as he's made his way east from the failed dam on Lake Delhi.
We're also seeing the incredible devastation to our agricultural cropland. And this is a very good image of what's happening in all parts of my district right now.
Talking with flooded-out farmers this afternoon, Braley says he's already begun lobbying for federal disaster funds, even though it will be several days before we have an estimate of how much damage has been done. He says it's a process he's become all too familiar with.
We're in trouble here again in Iowa and in the Midwest with these severe flood events, and we just need to pull together the way Iowans do.
In Maquoketa, Iowa, Kurt Liskey, Fox 18 News.
Those record floodwaters have overloaded Maquoketa's wastewater plant. The plant has been forced to pump the sewage water into the river without being treated. City officials are hoping to be back to normal and treating water within the week. To the flooding in Davenport now. Iowa Governor Chet Culver toured the downtown area this morning, and he joined Mayor Bill Gluba at Modern Woodman Park. Gluba thanked him for the $1 million iJobs grant. That's going to be used to build a permanent flood wall around the baseball park. Culver also challenged the state to think of more permanent flood fighting strategies.
I think what we've learned once again through this recent flooding is that we're now dealing with a new normal.
Other counties and cities should model their flood prevention system after the one that's in the works for Modern Woodman Park. So how much higher will area rivers get, and will more rain be to blame? Chief Meteorologist Pat Walker has the answers. Pat?
Hey, Nathan, we're looking at a picture here that Jenny Gallego, one of our co-workers here at Fox 18, took today from the Sky Bridge, looking down at LeClaire Park, and we're seeing the water already there. So let's look at some where our forecast levels will be for Rock Island and the Quad Cities. On Wednesday, that's what the W means, we're going to be at 18.5 feet, around 3.5 feet above flood stage. Comanche and LeClaire upstream are going to crest tomorrow, about 2 to 3 feet above average. And we go farther south, Illinois City, Muscatine, and New Boston are going to be 3 to 4 feet and cresting on Wednesday. Now, Maquoketa River has already crested in Maquoketa, and that was yesterday. We're crested around 36 feet. Now it's at 31.5, and late tomorrow night it will come below flood stage, which is 24 feet. The Rock River will be cresting as well. In Coma, it's already falling, but still above flood stage. In Jocelyn and Moline, still rising. It's going to be cresting tomorrow, 18.2 in Jocelyn and 14.5 in Moline. That's 2.5 feet above flood stage. And Anamosa Road up on the Wapsie River, still way above. We'll be cresting at 25.5 feet tomorrow. And in DeWitt, the Wapsie will still be cresting on Thursday, so a long ways to go in DeWitt. Now, we do have more rain coming in on Wednesday. It might add a little bit more to this. We'll talk about that coming up. Nathan?
All right, thanks, Pat. Let's stay in Davenport now, as we have seen city crews and a lot of volunteers here have been sandbagging in the downtown area. That's keeping the water from flowing in too far. It's something, unfortunately, the city is very used to doing. And as a longtime resident says, she has seen worse and isn't too worried about this one. Fox 18's Jenny Wurzberger continues our team coverage with her story.
Local residents and businesses are continuing to fight the rising Mississippi.
101 on fighting a flood.
Eve, Corbin, and her son Rick have filled several sandbags in their day. Owning 2 businesses along River Drive has given the pair a long flood resume.
We've had our property down there since '63, so we've been through the floods a few times. We could sit here and look right out level with the water.
The building currently sits empty, but a picture of the Great Flood of '93 still hangs on the wall.
I mean, it was just really devastating. It's not like that now.
Mayor Gluba is making sure the city learns from past floods to improve the systems in place.
We must learn to accommodate the Mississippi River, not to try to control it. And our whole downtown area is an accommodation.
The Mississippi River is expected to crest at 19.1 feet. Eve says with the city's new and improved flood protection plan, she isn't concerned.
The city did not do anything with River Drive, like putting a berm up or anything. So there's been a big change for the better.
With so much faith in the city's flood protection, they will stick to watching their neighbors fill up sandbags.
Sandbags don't sit tight together. It's just going to seep through anyway. You're just wasting your time.
In downtown Davenport, Jenny Wurzberger, Fox 18 News.
While the Mississippi is high, it is short of the top 3 levels. The biggest on record, July of 1993, she was talking about that flood there, 22.6 feet. Then April of 2001, 22.3, and June of 2008, 21.5.